North Korea.
A country shrouded in secrecy, propaganda, and isolation. On the surface, it's a socialist paradise, but in reality, it's one of the most repressive and enigmatic regimes in the world. How does Kim Jong-un's republic function? What rules govern its citizens? How did a small family dynasty create one of the world's most isolated states? Today, we'll explore the origins of North Korea, the Kim dynasty's iron grip on power, its political and economic systems, and what life is really like inside this secretive country. This is the truth behind Kim Jong-un's republic. The story of North Korea begins after World War II. The Korean peninsula, once under Japanese control, was split into two zones. The north, controlled by the Soviet Union, and the south, overseen by the United States. In the north, a young communist leader named Kim Il-sung rose to power. Born in 1912, Kim had fought alongside Soviet forces during World War II. With Stalin's backing, he established the Democratic People's Republic of Korea in 1948. Kim wasted no time solidifying power. In 1950, he launched an invasion of South Korea, sparking the Korean War. The war devastated both sides, leaving millions dead, but it cemented Kim's rule in the north. Over time, Kim crafted a personality cult, portraying himself as a godlike figure who had liberated Korea. Kim Il-sung's rule marked the transformation of North Korea into a totalitarian state. His ideology, juche, or self-reliance, became the guiding principle of the regime. In reality, juche masked North Korea's dependence on the Soviet Union and later China. When Kim Il-sung died in 1994, power passed to his son, Kim Jong-il. This marked the first hereditary transfer of power in a communist state. Under Kim Jong-il, the regime became even more insular. The 1990s brought a catastrophic famine, which killed an estimated 2 to 3 million people. Despite this, Kim expanded the cult of personality and invested in nuclear weapons. In 2011, Kim Jong-il's death left his son Kim Jong-un in charge. Many doubted the young leader's ability to maintain control, but he quickly proved his ruthlessness. In 2013, Kim ordered the execution of his uncle, Jang Song-thaek, consolidating power and sending a clear message to potential rivals. Under Kim, North Korea continued to expand its nuclear arsenal, drawing international sanctions and further isolating the country. Yet, Kim also modernized his image, presenting himself as a charismatic statesman. He engaged in high-profile summits with world leaders, including former US President Donald Trump. Despite these diplomatic gestures, Kim's grip on power remains as firm as ever.
The Songbun system.
Every North Korean is classified into a social caste system called Songbun. This system is based on family history and perceived loyalty to the regime. The elite enjoy privileges like living in Pyongyang, while lower classes face discrimination in jobs, education, and housing. Freedom of movement. Citizens need permission to travel, even within the country. Leaving North Korea without authorization is punishable by death, and families of defectors are often sent to labor camps.
Education.
Schools focus heavily on indoctrination, teaching children that the Kim family are divine leaders. History is rewritten to glorify the regime, and access to information from the outside world is strictly prohibited. Media and communication. All media is state-controlled. Foreign content, including music and movies, is banned. Owning a mobile phone doesn't mean access to the internet. North Korea has its own intranet, which is heavily monitored.
Punishment for dissent.
Criticism of the regime is considered treason. Entire families can be sent to gulags for the actions of one member, under the regime's 3 generations of punishment policy. North Korea's economy is a paradox. The regime promotes juche or self-reliance, but depends heavily on foreign aid and illegal activities to survive.
Illicit trade.
North Korea engages in smuggling, counterfeiting currency, and selling weapons to rogue states. Black markets. While officially banned, black markets thrive as a way for ordinary citizens to access food and goods. These markets operate under the watchful eye of the government, which often takes a cut of the profits.
Dependence on China.
China accounts for over 90% of North Korea's trade. Without Chinese support, the regime would likely collapse. Propaganda is the lifeblood of the regime. From an early age, North Koreans are indoctrinated to worship the Kim family. The regime uses mass events, like the Arirang Games, to display unity and power. The state also isolates citizens from the outside world. Radios and televisions are pre-tuned to government stations, and owning foreign media can result in execution. This isolation keeps the population in a bubble of fear and loyalty. North Korea's aggressive foreign policy revolves around its nuclear program. The regime views nuclear weapons as its ultimate insurance against foreign intervention. Despite sanctions, North Korea continues testing missiles, claiming it's a defensive measure against U.S. aggression. The country's relationship with its neighbors, particularly South Korea, remains tense, with periodic border clashes and provocations. North Korea remains an enigma, a nation trapped in the past but armed for the future. The regime's survival depends on fear, propaganda, and isolation. But change could come from within. As information slowly seeps into the country and more North Koreans become aware of the outside world, cracks in the regime may appear. Until then, the truth behind Kim Jong-un's republic remains one of the greatest tragedies of our time.